Hello there, here I review movies and today's film is Immaculate. It's a horror film about a woman going to join a convent in Italy only to discover that all is not as it seems. Andrew Lobel wrote the story and Michael Mohan directed the film, which stars Sydney Sweeney as Sister Cecilia, Alvaro Morte as Father Tedeschi, and Dora Romano as Mother Superior. Okay, let's start with a little breakdown. This movie is basically a scary environment movie. It sets up a creepy location, drops the protagonist in it, and then the rest is watching her react to disgusting and horrifying events as she discovers the place's secrets. To be blunt, the story as a whole is fairly boring and poorly written, but there are some positives to the film worth mentioning. The visual journey, the soundtrack, and the cast all have positive elements that add to the film and almost make it watchable. The visual journey takes place in a convent, and they manage to create a creepy atmosphere through dingy lighting and by having extras play out disturbing moments. There's also a few jump scares that are well done and a bit of disgusting gore that elicits a visceral reaction. For jump scares, they didn't have much, but each was set up well and had a big impact. The gore came in the form of people being dismembered, and they mostly used practical effects to depict it. They weren't the most convincing props, but they were used effectively and made to seem real through great editing and shot placement. In behind the visuals are instrumentals with an eerie church vibe to them. Pianos, organs, string sections, and Latin chanting help create a disturbing environment and keep your heart pumping fast and your bottom on seat's edge. When it came time for them to rend and maim the cast, they did a fantastic job of the sound design, creating gross noises that help sell the gore. I wanted to vomit listening to the nun peeling her fingernails off. From the cast side of things, there are a lot of good performances from the church staff, Alvaro Morte especially. He had a lot of charisma in his scenes and did a fantastic job of his character's emotional journey. Alongside him, there were all these devout believers, and their commitment helped sell the atmosphere as a whole. The three young women who ended up as victims did a good job of their moments too. They put out a lot of convincing fear and anger reactions. But that's where the positives end. The story is poorly thought out nonsense that doesn't have much content to offer. It spends 40 minutes setting up the creepy environment and then blows its big reveal at the 50-minute mark. After that, you're just waiting for the story to end. Its characters are all bland stereotypes too. After 5 minutes with them, you'll be incredibly bored and ready to check out. It has victims who cry and scream but barely fight back, and self-righteous killers that appear fanatical. There's no one to root for, no one to be dazzled by, only people to hate. The actors can only do so much with their roles, and it's clear that many of them are hampered by the writing. That's not the case for Sydney Sweeney though. She manages to suck the air out of the room whenever she walks into it and delivers every line with the same deer in headlights look. Her reactions get a little better toward the end, but for most of the film she is incredibly muted. I doubt even better dialogue or cooler actions could have made her character any less painful to watch. On top of the story's failures, there also aren't that many horror moments in the film. Most of what you get is jump scares, and even those are quite few and far between. There's only a few deaths, and almost all of them happen within a 5-minute block toward the end. I went into this film thinking it would be a pretty easy sell. Create a spooky environment, pull off some solid kills, and create a character that I want to root for. It should be easy with the premise, but this film manages to put forward a protagonist I couldn't care less about in an environment that doesn't make any sense, and it barely kills anybody. The only reason to watch is to get startled by the jump scares and be disgusted by the gore. As for a rating, I'd give this film a 4 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye-bye.